Hi, people. How's it going? Today I have another review for you. It's a Netflix production, and it's a continuation to one of the greatest TV shows of all time, El Camino. Now, before we fully jump into review, first of all, this is going to be a spoiler review. Second of all, like, subscribe, all of that. And third, I feel like I have to give you some backstory with my experience with Breaking Bad. So I actually finished my first viewing of Breaking Bad about 3 weeks ago. I've always meant to get on it, and then the first trailer for this movie came out, and I was like, ooh, perfect timing. Let's binge it, let's catch up until the movie. And I finished it like 3 weeks ago. And I did film a review, although I didn't like some things about the review. There were some technical problems, all of that. So I didn't post it. But here's a quick highlight from the review, what I thought about the show. Listen, I know I live under a rock or something, but I finally checked out Breaking Bad and I loved it. It's amazing, just like people say. And if you haven't watched it yet, give it a watch. Basically, that's all you need to know. So the show is great, and I loved it. And now this movie came out a few days ago. I saw it a few days ago. I felt like I needed to give myself some time to think about it. And oh my god, do I think it's so good. I didn't it's not something that I thought I needed after especially after seeing the final of Breaking Bad. But wow, this was good. In the words of Thanos, this put a smile on my face. A massive shout out and thank you goes out to Vince Gilligan. Thank you so much for this movie. You did a fantastic job directing and writing this film. It was phenomenal. I know you definitely took all the time that you could on this movie and the screenplay, and it was amazing. I thought the writing in Breaking Bad is fantastic, and it's pretty much all down to you and your writing team. And the writing in this movie is phenomenal. Number one thing coming into this movie, a lot of people were skeptical about, including myself, was like, does this feel like a cash grab? Because it does feel like we've been away from Breaking Bad for so long, and it had such a great ending. Do we need this? And after seeing this film, we did need this. It really just feels like the fifth season has 16 episodes. It really feels like this is just episodes 17 and 18 just to close it off. Basically, Breaking Bad was always revolved around Walter. Jesse was always, the second character. So when Walter's story ended, that's when Breaking Bad, I feel like, should have ended. And that was great and all. But it was so nice to see that there is a good Jesse ending, and it's not so open ended to how it was left in the show. Aaron Paul does a phenomenal job. I love Aaron Paul in this role. I thought he was fantastic throughout the whole show, and I love that he got his own 2 hour movie to do his own thing. And I always thought that, listen, even if the story turns out to be or something, that Aaron Paul is going to bring it. Thankfully, Vince Gilligan brought it himself. It was fantastic. And Aaron Paul did an amazing job in this movie. Emmy nomination, Oscar nomination, don't really know which one, but he definitely deserves the most recognition that he can get for this. There were some brief cameos from some past Breaking Bad characters that I really like. In the opening scene, Mike comes back, and I don't know, these cameos just like, again, just put a smile on my face. They made me so happy. I'm not even that like far away from the show. Like I finished the show 3 weeks ago for my first time, so it's fresh in my mind. But I can't imagine what it was like for somebody to finish the show in 2013, and then the trailer, excuse me, comes out for this. You're probably getting so excited to revisit the story, and then I'm just wondering what kind of experience people had that finished the show back then and are so happy to revisit these characters and see all these cameos, because it really made me happy. And I didn't even finish the show that long ago. The other cameos that I really liked is Skinny Pete and Badger. They were fantastic. This was really kind of bringing every character that was close to Jesse that is still pretty much left or even dead, kind of concluding his story and coming all together. And I really like Skinny Pete and Badger. I really felt like all the three of them had a great friendship, and I really liked that they helped him out. I do love what Skinny Pete tells him, where he looks at him and he's like, "Dude, you're my hero and shit." I felt like that was such a great moment between those two characters, because I did feel like Jesse with Walter got to that high level of crime, and let's be honest, Badger and Skinny Pete kind of criminals still. So I really like that they were like, "Hey man, like we kind of looked up to you," and he did help them out. Remember, he did bring them into the business at one point, and he did give them money to do some other things here and there. The last cameo that I want to talk about that had, oh man, it just made me so happy inside, was when Walter showed up. I love the whole setup of that because it kind of cuts back, and I'm like, at that point in the movie, Jesse looks like he already got rescued, and it flashes back, and you can see there's old Jesse. He's got the hair and everything. He comes out, and he's still wearing the baggy clothes that he always used to wear. And he knocks on the door, and you just know it's Walter. I predicted. I was like, oh, dude, Walter's gonna come out, and he just comes out, and they're just walking, and they just let that sink in for you. And it was so nice to see Bryan Cranston come back to the role again. Didn't finish that show that long ago, but still, it was so nice to see him come back. What I love about the Walter White story is that a lot of people were like, felt that the ending of season 5 was open ended. They were like, "Ooh, maybe he's not dead," and a lot of people's predictions were that he's actually not dead, and that this movie he's gonna come back. I always kind of thought he was dead, and I kind of wanted him to be dead because I think that would have been the right ending for him, and that yes, he should have made a cameo in a flashback, which he did. But I love how in the beginning, like 20 minutes, there's news anchors talking about the incident, and they're not specifically saying that Walter is dead. They're kind of giving you that hope that maybe they'll say Walter's in a hospital, unconscious or something. But no, like 20 minutes into the movie, they finally let it go, and somebody on the radio says that Walter was found dead. I always felt like Breaking Bad had fantastic production and camera work and cinematography in general for a TV show. Now this is a Netflix movie, a bit bigger budget, but some of the shots and just storytelling, visual storytelling is spectacular in true Breaking Bad fashion. This film is cinematic as so like a lot of people predicted this movie was going to be Jesse kind of trying to find his way out, and just like the show set up, the pretty much the only way out for these characters, the only logical way would be to visit, the vacuum guy that Saul knows, who can make you disappear and get you a new identity, who's played by Robert Forster. Unfortunately, Robert Forster actually passed away a few days ago. I think he passed away when this film actually went live on Netflix, so that's sad to see. May he rest in peace. But I love the reintroduction of his character because Jesse comes up to him and he has the money, but he's short just a little bit. I believe 1,800 he's short of. And he's like, listen, not let me you're really not gonna let me come with you if I don't give you the 1,800. And he basically tells him, yeah, like he really is a businessman. And he's serious because that's the way in the show they set him up. They said, hey, listen, he doesn't give you any second chances. He's serious about his business. He wants to be careful with it. So I love the fact that even though he was short just 1,800, that he was very serious about it. But at the end of the day, he does get him out, and that was kind of the most logical way to go. And that's why I feel like this movie's not crazy with it. If you came to watch this movie thinking that we're gonna have action after action after action, that's not the case. Again, it's pretty much a simple story, right? Jesse needs to go find money real quick, which he knows where the money is, which it's in Todd's apartment, which is told through a flashback. I'll talk about that in a second. So he basically goes to that apartment, gets the money, goes to the vacuum guy, gives him the money. He says, nope, you get a little more. Goes back, gets the rest of the money, comes back to him. It's basically that simple. There really is very minimal action in this movie. And that's Breaking Bad in general, really. It doesn't, when it has the action set pieces and the action needs to come in, it comes in just at the right time. It's a really character-centered movie centered on Jesse Pinkman. And it's really just kind of trying to finish off his arc. So it's not really action based or anything. There's a flashback sequence, actually, there's a few in this movie from a day during Jesse's captivity with the Nazis where he and Todd pretty much just hung out for the day because Todd needed him to do something. And I just personally love the character of Todd. I was even happy to see Todd. He's played by Jesse Plemons, I believe. I don't know, I just love Todd. I love how weird he is about everything. He's so like nonchalant about like the most craziest thing. Like I just love how he comes into the room and he killed his maid, and he's just like he killed her with a belt, his own belt. And when they're wrapping her body up in the carpet, he's like, "Yeah, gonna need this belt back," and he just puts it on his back. I just love how weird he is about everything. He's just a weird guy, and I also love how he was very careful with Jesse. He was always kind of character to me that seemed like he was cool, calm, but he was going to snap at some point. And when Jesse had that gun in his hand, I thought, this is it. But no, he's like, listen, we're going to order some pizza, some beers, because you deserve it. what kind of pizza would you like? I'm like, Todd, you're so weird, but I love it. The last scene that I want to talk about is basically the Wild West standoff that they had at the end with the welder guy, I believe. I forgot his name. I apologize. But basically, Jesse comes to him for the 1800 that he needs because he has the rest of the money from Todd's apartment. And he tells him, listen, we're going to have a standoff here with our guns. And if you win, you take everything. If I win, I take everything, basically. What I love about Breaking Bad is the attention to details. If they show you something, trust me, it's important and it will come back. And Vince Gilligan takes that approach and puts it into this film when Jesse takes out two guns out of his parents' safe. And he basically comes in with one tucked into the front of his pants, into his waist, with one only. But he has his hand in his pocket. So when they have that standoff, the tension is being built. And I'm looking at him, I'm like, he's gonna shoot him through the pocket, isn't he? Because where's the second gun? And he looks so calm of it. The other guy's getting ready. He already has his hand on his gun. Jesse's nowhere near his gun. His hands are like over here, basically. I'm like, yeah, he's gonna shoot him through his pocket. I just love that. I love that. Jesse was smart with it because over the years we've seen Jesse in Breaking Bad get smarter and smarter and smarter and start figuring shit out. Because in the first, let's say, 2 seasons, he was really dropping the ball and making mistakes. Even though later he still did it sometimes, but he was still getting smarter. Like figuring out the fact that Hugh stole the cigarette off of him. It was fantastic. I thought it was a beautiful ending to Jesse's character. He basically, if you really want to know the ending, he goes to Alaska. The vacuum guy, actually takes his money at the end because he brought him all he needed, and he basically sends him off in Alaska with a new identity. And this film is fantastic. If you're a Breaking Bad fan, go check it out. Definitely, you need to. You didn't think you needed it, but Vince Gilligan was like, "Here, no, you need it. Take it. Take the film. Watch it." It really did feel like just an addition to Breaking Bad season 5. It really feel like episode 18 and 17 of that season. Just to finish it off, it really could have been, but they didn't have the idea back then. So, just like usual, let me know what you guys think about El Camino in the comments. I would love to read all of your theories and kind of just what you thought about the movie in general. But in the meantime, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Check out my Joker review. I had a lot to say about Joker and stuff like that. Yeah, check it out. Thing will pop up somewhere here. But again, like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys later.